Well, welcome back to Sasquatch and Sourdough. I am your host, Christina, and I don't know about you, but I have been inundated with some really deep and heavy content, most of which I've produced. The last couple episodes of this podcast have been pretty exciting and scary and often terrifying and theologically deep. So I decided that I needed to have a little palate cleanser. So tonight, what better way to cleanse my palate of all the weird, wicked stuff in the world, but to have back in the kitchen my beautiful best friend, Crystal.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm back.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
Last time we talked, it was cold.
It was cold. We almost had a terrible, we had a wild thunderstorm that just happened.
Yeah, it was funny. So I was on my way here and it started pouring down raining. It was like this black, ominous cloud. I was on my way to a store and I just had to sit there in my car and wait. And then here comes Christina around the corner. She's like, hey, I'm at the same store.
It's insane. It was crazy. But it only lasted like 20 minutes. And now it's sunshine.
Yeah, it's actually feels like summer now here.
It does. It's fake summer in Maryland.
Well, it's like 100% humidity and 90 degrees.
No. It's not my favorite.
That's Baltimore summer for you.
It's Baltimore. It's back. So we're back with Crystal in the kitchen, and I'm so excited. We have sourdough that I did not make, but I bought from a store.
Yeah.
And we're just noshing.
And we're doing the sourdough part of Sasquatch.
Actually, over. This is the first time. Yes.
We're also eating lovely tapenade.
Yes, we have an olive tapenade. We're just getting cozy because you know what? It's weird out there. And sometimes you just need a little normalcy.
Yeah.
With your beautiful best friend.
And your friend.
Exactly. Go find your friends and listen to this podcast. So one of the things we're going to talk about, the place that we're kind of fixing to talk about tonight is filled with synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to talk about a place, not only that, well, not place, but
a region.
So the Appalachias, filled with high strangeness, like I said, synchronicities, weird stuff.
Yeah.
But before we jump in, we have a tale to tell of weirdness from the 1900s. And it had happened on the first day of ninth grade.
Okay. I don't know what she's going to say, people.
Don't you remember the first day of ninth grade when we met?
Was it the first day?
It was the first day of ninth grade in the 1990s.
I do know the story she's going to tell.
It was 1990.
90.
And ninth grade.
Yeah.
At a certain high school. We're not going to say which one.
No.
But apparently there was a weird rumor going around with both of us.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, we both had the same initials. So this is where the synchronicity comes in.
Here it comes.
CB. Same birthday. 1/1/1/82. No, now they can look us up online.
Oh, no.
Never mind. 82. But this is the craziest thing because I had a bunch of people coming up to me and saying, did you know there's a girl here that's wearing the same exact outfit as you?
Who looks like you and talks like you and acts like you and wants to be you?
And wants to be you. Don't you want to beat her up? Because that's what you do when you find your doppelganger.
Because she wants to beat you up.
Obviously, you destroy her.
It destroy each other.
Now destroy each other.
Let's watch it happen.
Let's watch, because it's ninth grade in the 1900s. That's what we did. So you might be thinking, okay, well, yeah, everybody dressed the same in the 90s. Like, what did you guys have? Like Dayglow, like Keds on? I don't even know. I can't think of a thing.
It's so niche.
It's the most ridiculous outfit ever. Do you want to describe it?
Sure.
Okay.
So we had on the same cutoff jean shorts, which isn't that strange. The same Doc Martens, which isn't that strange. 8-hole black blue laces. But we also had on the same white Cure t-shirt with black rings.
It was a ringlet Cure t-shirt.
Yeah. That came from like Hot Top.
That you can't find anywhere else.
You can't find it. I don't even know if I still have mine. Did you keep?
No, it had like a big hole in the back after a while.
Yeah. But anyway, so nobody wore this shirt because if you were a Cure fan, you were goth and you didn't wear white. You wore black. Everybody wore black. So I don't know how we both decided that we were going to buy this white Cure t-shirt and then wear it on the same day. Oh, and our hair was cut the same.
And
the same color.
It was like a wine red.
Wine red.
Christina is probably listening to this right now, and she can definitely, If you were listening, put that in a comment somewhere because you will remember this. I don't think I had blue laces though.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
no, okay.
And the shorts were not just black, but they were cut off shorts that used to be pants.
Yeah, because that's what you did in the 90s. You
Exactly.
buy shorts.
No.
Just cut off jeans.
Cut off jeans.
Yeah, that's what you did.
After the bottoms got so disgusting from walking on
As you walked on them.
a lot of miles on days. In the 1900s. So yeah, we've never told that story. And this is actually episode 30. So welcome.
All of our friends know that story, but
Yeah.
now you're our new friends.
Our new friends know the story. Do you have a best friend that has insane synchronicities? And it's never been any different, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, because then when we got married,
Oh, our initials changed.
some B to D.
So we stayed the same.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So all of our like little friends out there that are into conspiracies and synchronicities, there you go. You can't get any weirder.
Yeah.
And we like the same weird stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and when we used to go out in public, people thought we were twins.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to see the Blair Witch Project? And I swear, like 5 different people stopped us and was like, "Oh my God, are you twins?" And we just started saying, "Yeah." We were like, "Yeah,
Yeah, we are.
we are."
Did we walk out of that movie or no, we stayed? I can't remember.
We stayed. I loved that movie.
Did you?
I still watch that movie.
I got annoyed when they started crying. When they started crying about the map.
I love that movie. I watch that movie on repeat. I think I watch it once a year.
Put the map in the river. Shut up. You guys are walking in a circle.
One of my favorite genres is found footage. I love found footage.
Well, yeah. Film footage.
And that's what started it, was Blair Witch Project.
Oh my gosh, that's right. It was like a whole genre.
Not to mention, we live in freaking Maryland,
Yeah.
and that it was based in Maryland, and everybody thought it was real. So we went and saw it when everybody thought it was actually real. And we didn't, like, nobody realized that it was like fake and actually like a movie. And so like a couple weeks later, when they came out on like MTV Movie Awards and they were live and everybody freaked out, they were like, "Oh my God, you're alive."
You guys didn't die?
Because they actually made like a documentary about the movie and about them dying and their families like mourning and stuff. They made like the
That's right.
PR thing where they made it seem really, really real.
Speaking of PR,
Yeah.
have you seen? So they are making a new Final Destination.
Oh yeah.
Did you see what's going on?
The truck.
The log truck. Oh my God.
Yeah, I did.
No. Okay, so obviously, if you grew up in the 1990s, you are familiar with Final Destination.
Yeah. And you won't drive behind a log
No.
truck. You
Nope.
won't.
If you don't know it, go watch it. It's definitely worth it, but it is old-fashioned. But yeah, so that's like their PR campaign, which is brilliant, by the way.
Great.
I mean, why not?
People to this day, when you see a long truck on the road, everybody that stays away from it and hangs back, you're like, "You've seen Final Destination.
You know what happens.
You've seen it. You've seen it."
The worst case scenario. It's a movie of worst case scenarios ever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good franchise.
It is. So yeah, so that's our story of our first friendship. And now here we are, 30 episodes later. Crystal's back. I'm so excited.
I'm glad to be here.
I know. It's not the same without you. Although I've had some great guests. We've got
Great guest. Yeah.
It's been a wild ride and I really enjoy it. Yeah, so keep your stories coming. Like, we definitely still want to tell them. There's always room, but it's just not the same when you can kind of, it's almost like when you're entertaining.
Right.
You know, like I don't feel like I have to entertain.
Yeah.
I can just let you tell all the stories.
Banter.
Banter. I know. Everybody misses the banter. Hi, Shelly. We're bantering for you. So that's for you, Shell. So a little bit of housekeeping. I definitely wanted to let you guys know. So in addition to, so I told you before, I think I didn't announce it on a podcast, but like I put it on social media that we now have a P.O. box.
Oh, I love that.
And I enjoy going to the P.O. box because it's like in the country and I like grab a coffee and have like a whole morning. So the P.O. box is P.O. Box number 2, Hydes, Hydes, Maryland 21082. Send us stuff.
It's the cutest little country post office. It's this tiny little building in the middle of nowhere.
It's like Mayberry.
It's the cutest.
It's so cute. And the best part of it is the lady who is the mail lady absolutely feels so sorry for me because I don't get any mail. So when I went this week, because I like to go on Fridays. So when I went today, she put like these little issues of like the country newspaper. So I got the Country Chronicle,
No.
and the Villager. And it's just like all these little,
You had mail.
I had mail. So send me mail so the lady at the post office doesn't think I'm like seriously pathetic. She was just like so excited.
Send us anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Stickers, not haunted.
Nothing haunted.
Nothing haunted. I anoint that mailbox. I'll have to know. It is filled with the Holy Spirit. All right. So yeah, that. And then also I did set up a phone number. If you guys want to text or send a message, it's not like my phone number. It's just a magical phone number that I set up. So you can like call in your stories and leave a message. And then that way I can either play them or whatever. Messages, like, you know, all your crazy stories, all that stuff. I just want to have more ways for you to get in touch because not everybody wants to sit and like comment on videos and stuff like that. But definitely also send all the comments and 5-star reviews. So the phone number is 202-556-3802. And I'm going to put that in all of the descriptions and stuff like that. So
I'll also put a picture of the post office because
I should put a picture of the post office somewhere.
see this. Adorable.
I'm going to go take good pictures of it. Like nice, like artsy black and white pictures. It's just so cute.
It's adorable, but also a little creepy.
It's so on brand because in like in the middle of nowhere, it looks like it's part of Bates Motel, and there's like
on a dark and stormy night at the post office.
I know. Exactly. And there's like a Coke machine from like the 80s.
Yeah.
That probably doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You put a quarter in it and dust comes out.
You know. Oh, and there was a man that was there, like he just like totally drove up and like there's an actual mailbox. He like put his mail in the mailbox and I was like, oh,
I put the little flag up.
Yep.
Mail.
No, it's like an actual like UPS, like a post office mail, like a blue box.
Oh.
We don't have those around here in the city.
Because they get like torched.
Yeah.
And looted.
People like, yes, throw trash in them or more disgusting things. Oh, I digress. So yeah, that's our housekeeping stuff. Get in touch with us so we can tell your story, or just if you want to get your story off your chest. I feel like most people just don't want to have it like they don't feel like coming on a podcast. They just want to share.
Yeah, that's great.
Like that's important.
You don't have to talk. You don't have to come out of your comfort zone. Like, yeah, we can do that for you.
Yeah, we can do that for you for sure. So yeah. Okay, so the Appalachians.
So let's talk about the pronunciation real quick.
Oh, am I doing it wrong?
No, you're doing it right. So that's the thing. There's no right and there's no wrong. I'm sick and tired of people gatekeeping the way you say Appalachian.
All right.
I was raised, and I'm from that area. My family is from Blacksburg, Virginia, and we always called it Appalachian. So if you want to call it Appalachian, if you want to call it Appalachian, we're not going to gatekeep here. Call it, pronounce it however you will.
Okay, let me see if I can pronounce it the way that I would pronounce it without trying to pronounce it.
Okay.
All right, it's Appalachia.
Okay. Whatever.
Appalachian. So I'm going on the Appalachian Trail. See, but I don't want to say Appalachian Trail.
There's no T.
Appalachian.
Appalachian.
Appalachia. All right, that's enough. All right, Darren, you heard it first.
Sorry, I just had to. It drives me nuts.
Appalachian.
So I think it's regional. I think it depends on what region of the Appalachian Mountains that you come from. That's how you say it. I don't know. Maybe people can comment and tell us how you always pronounced it.
But then if you think about it, because we're also talking about a mountain range.
It's a region.
So it goes through states. So obviously people in Kentucky are going to talk different than people in West Virginia. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very southern. It's very northern.
Okay.
And all the places in between.
That's fair.
All right.
Why is it so weird? Because we know it's weird. We have listeners that tell me all the time. I've been on shows, like people are from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's a lot going on.
So there's so many different reasons why it's weird. One is because it's completely removed from regular society. It's hard to get there. It's hard to get out of there. There's no major cities within the mountains. There's no major towns even within the mountains.
Kind of love that.
All on the outskirts, like in the foothills. That's where you're going to find places like Harper's Ferry or, you know what I mean? There's towns, but they're not huge towns. So
yeah,
since the dawn of time, these, from what I've learned is that these mountains are the oldest mountain range in our world. They were there I don't know how many millions of years ago, but they were like bigger than the Rockies.
Oh my God.
And over time, like weather has worn them down. And I'm not a geologist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not even a historian. But what I've learned is that
Your own research.
it's a very, very old mountain range. And maybe people can chime in and tell us what they know about this mountain range.
Yeah.
During Pangea, that mountain range and the mountain range in Scotland, and I think that's the Scottish Highlands, they were actually connected. And when Pangea separated into different continents, half of the mountain range came this way and the other half of the mountain range went towards Scotland. So when the Scottish immigrants came here to America, they found the Appalachian Mountains and said, wow, this reminds me a lot of being at home because it's the same freaking mountain range. It's like,
I feel like we talked about that in the
fauna.
in the fairy episode.
We did.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Part of it. The other part of it is just being so removed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to get out of there once you're in there. You're traversing up and down mountains on a horse. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. All right. Do you want to hear? So I just pulled stuff from, I am obsessed with the Appalachian Trail. I love the idea. Now, I know there's a lot of weird stuff in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of just hiking it. We actually had a chance, my family and I, like, we went to Harper's Ferry not too long ago and had like a really nice time.
Yeah.
Just exploring that area.
Yeah.
And it's different up there. Like, I mean, I was like smelling. It was so funny because intern Rob was like, okay, yes, you're in nature. It smells different. But I'm like, I'm smelling something. And it's like nothing I've ever smelled before. And it's like beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
Might have been mountain laurel.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like get too weird and be like, why does it smell so good around here? Oh my gosh. But so I found, now this is interesting. This one is, so they were in Georgia, but it says Massachusetts. That doesn't make any sense. Hang on, let me check this one because this one actually is like, this is from Kentucky. So this is from the BFRO. So the Bigfoot Field Research Organization. We quote from there all the time. 2015 in the summer. So this was Kentucky, Lawrence County. And it said, I would like to talk to you guys because a lot of other stuff has been occurring around my farm. A few months ago, something screamed at me and then went, hoo, hoo, like an owl. Ooh. I looked up the scream on the web and the thing it sounded most like was a cougar. But the owl sound was not an owl. Other things that happened is rocks being thrown when I'm in the garden or at night when I get home and sit on the back porch. Once, when I was cutting firewood at dusk and was loading wood, something or someone threw a lot of rocks and made a ruckus. Also at night, when I got home, I sit on my back porch and play with my dog. Something hits the side of an old outhouse along with a rock throwing and screams. This happens most nights of the week. I've never seen anything at daytime, but the scream and the owl call, I went to where it sounded like it came from and found one track in an old rotten log. It looked like a person was barefoot, and the track was the ball of the foot and the toes, and it was showing, but rain washed some of it away. Also, this weekend, I went to check out my tree stands, and besides one of them, a tree with a big branch piled around it in a way that doesn't look natural to me.
Oh,
Like I said, I live on a 200-acre farm, and my closest neighbor is a mile away. I hear stuff and things get tossed off of the hillsides night and day.
that's really cool. That's definitely
Oh, he says, other witnesses, just me and my dogs.
just me and my dogs.
Just me and my dogs.
The dogs are like, that.
Let me see if there was any. Let me see if there was any follow-up. Oh, yeah. So he says, so one of the investigators, Jack Smar, followed up with a phone call and said later that summer he was splitting wood for winter. He would get home at 10 or so and split a few logs every night before he went inside. As he was splitting logs, he would hear pebbles from the hillside hit the tin roof of his carport. Okay, so like, wow, everything that this guy is experiencing on his farm, so when I had oh my gosh, the episode with Coffee Core with Nick, like that was fantastic. He had the same exact experience when he was lost in the woods.
Oh, wow.
Something throwing rocks, like you hear that kind of all the time.
Yeah.
Throwing the rocks at buildings, cars.
Yeah.
And he mentioned an owl sound too.
Mm-hmm.
And for him, I can't remember if it was him or not, but I've heard the owl sounds where it sounds like it's tandem and they're like following you,
Oh,
but like talking to each other on either side.
yeah.
They like mimic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
oh. Yeah, so that's one from Appalachian foothills.
So I have one that kind of ties into that. It's called the Raven Mocker. It's another cryptid in that area. Yeah, it's really cool.
Mocker.
So it's a Cherokee legend. The Raven Mocker is mythology that comes from the Cherokee, and this thing is said to rob the sick and the dying of their heart, and they eat it. And basically, they take on the extra years that the person would have lived and put that into their own body to like live, longer, like immortality, I guess.
It's like vampiric.
Exactly. Yeah. Sounds like it.
Raven Mocker.
But they also can appear to be male or female, and they usually look old and withered because they have added so many lives to their own, normally appearing as old, withered men or women, or turning completely invisible except to certain medicine men. They take to the air in a fiery shape with the sounds of a raven's cry and a strong wind as they hunt for the next victims. So they're also said that they can shapeshift into ravens. That's why they're called raven mockers.
Wow.
They're mocking the raven. They make the raven sound and they fly. So they can take on the shape of like a bird or a raven or, whatever. And they feed on old, feeble, sick and dying.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
On their hearts. So that reminded me kind of like of that, like hearing like the sounds, because they also mimic, just like you said. Yeah. That's another, that comes from Cherokee legend. So it's really interesting. A lot of these like legends from the Appalachian Mountains are Native American in origin, and specifically the Cherokee Indians. They're the ones that lived in those mountains. And when the settlers came over in the 1800s, they brought their own folklore from their hometown, and then they combined it with the folklore of the natives that lived in the mountains.
Right.
And it turned into like its own kind of regional lore.
We see that with Pennsylvania a lot too. Yeah.
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 It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world where people have integrated like
Crazy.
that. Cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, the Raven Mocker. I just discovered this today.
Yeah.
When I was looking up cryptids.
Well,
in the mountains.
So the big Cherokee, the other like big one is the Moonite people. I think that one's well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A story about that.
I just know, like, I've actually never really even looked into it. I hear about it, like that a phenomenon.
Yeah. So I have a little snippet about what they are or what they are thought to be.
Yeah, I have.
It's another Cherokee legend, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. An established part of Cherokee cosmology is that of the moon-eyed people. The Cherokee described these beings as another race of humans who were different in appearance from the tribe. They were described as small and bearded with incredibly white skin and huge blue eyes. According to legend, the moon-eyed people were a race of nocturnal humans. As their eyes were too sensitive to any light, they were forced to hunt, fish, and accomplish all of their tasks during the night. Thus, they were called the moon-eyed people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's this really good part where it says they were present among the tribe beginning around 1170 CE. I don't know what time period that is, but many, moon-eyed people with legends of Welsh travel to the New World before the Spanish, but this was probably a combination of propaganda against the Spanish. I don't know what all that is.
Yeah.
Let's see. That there is a statue. It is thought that the statue... So the most compelling evidence for the existence of the moon-eyed people is a 3-foot-tall statue found at the confluence of the Hiawassee and Valley Rivers in the 19th century. It is thought that the statue may be pre-Cherokee and it depicts two conjoined figures. The statue is the best visual evidence of the Moon-Eyed People and is on display at the Cherokee County Historical Museum in Murphy, North Carolina.
Oh, that's crazy.
Neat.
That's really neat.
Yeah, what a cool story.
Yeah, I definitely want to check into that. There's a lot of folklore that surrounds that, and a lot of people. There's so many good videos that you can watch. Actually, there's one guy who I highly recommend. He has a ton of videos. So JD Phillips on YouTube. He's the Appalachian storyteller. I love this guy. Like, he has like pretty short but like really well told stories and like, you know, sound design and stuff. Like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and he actually the way that I found him. Oh, he's tricky with his like titles and descriptions, which is really good. So I was trying to like look up stuff about like Appalachia or whatever, and so one of his titles was like lost giants of Appalachia, and I was like, what giants? Let me see. And he was talking about the redwood or the chestnut, the American chestnut, and then I was like, okay, I'm totally watching this. But apparently the American chestnut tree was like absolutely just pivotal for these people. Like, they used it for everything.
And it dominated the forest.
It did. So go watch that video. It's so well worth it. But of course, like some terrible thing from somewhere else came in and like wiped it with the disease. Yeah. It's really, really sad.
What a sad thing.
But I was like, it was just so funny. I was like, giants? And then I was like, oh yeah.
Giant trees.
It's not all supernatural, Christina.
Oh, that was pretty clever of him.
I know. He said, man, you got a lot of views too. All right. It's like, all right, JD Phillips. Yeah, so definitely check him out. And then let me see, what else did I find? Did you find anything about Brown Mountain Lights?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
I made a note to ask you about that.
Let's see. All right. Over 2 centuries ago, eerie ghost lights began appearing over Brown Mountain in North Carolina. The first witnesses to report the lights was a German engineer, John William Gerard de Brom, who wrote of lights over the North Carolina hills in his journal in 1771. Following Brom's account, several legends about lights over the mountains were passed down. Many who have seen the lights say the glowing orbs dance over the hills soundlessly until they silently dissipate or explode over the rolling peaks. There's a lot to this. So people were saying that they tried to debunk the phenomena and say that it was cars driving on the mountain and headlights from cars and passing trains.
Yeah.
Sounds like that. This was in 1922 when they tried to debunk it. But then it was disproven when a massive flood wiped out all the roads and tracks in the mountain and the lights still appeared.
What?
Yeah. So there's many theories.
Yeah, but how many cars could there it's not it's the 20s. Like, how much traffic is there?
And trains.
On the mountain. Come on. I mean, trains, yeah, but.
So the most common story was told by the Native Americans in the area. Cherokee legend claims that there was a bloody battle between Catawba and Cherokee warriors on Brown Mountain. Mothers, widows, and sisters set out into the mountains after the battle was over, carrying torches to search for their loved ones. This explains the glowing lights as the spirits of the Cherokee women who are still searching.
Whoa.
I know. It's good.
I don't want them to still be searching.
I know.
Oh, that's a sad one.
Let's see. The Appalachian State University also observed the lights in recent years. And current scientific theories about the lights speculate that they could be caused by natural gases on the mountain or ball lightning. So whatever the Brown Mountain lights are, they can be seen fairly regularly in North Carolina, most often during the night between September and November.
Really?
Huh.
Why?
I don't know. Those lost, women.
All the lost women looking for their loved ones. Oh, ghost stories are so sad.
I know. Yeah.
I don't like that. All right. I found, this was the one that I wanted to talk about. So this is actually a hiker on the Appalachian Trail. This is again from the BFRO. Let's see here. So this is Berkshire County. It is in Massachusetts. I don't know if that's part of it or not. So the fall, September 15. This person observed, I've hiked the Appalachian Trail, Georgia to Hanover, New Hampshire, 2006 to present. I am a section hiker. While staying at the Tom Leonard Shelter, East Mountain State Park, Massachusetts, I had an incident. While solo camping at the shelter, I decided to call a Bigfoot in. Oh, well, come on, bro.
Call the Bigfoot.
I've decided, and you know what? I'm out here by myself.
I'm really bored.
Why not just call Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Come on, fella. Or try it. Hold on. I'm getting lost. Or try. It was an eerie evening. I went to get water. It was a long way down. While I had a feeling something was watching me, it was getting dark. Uneventfully, I hiked back. Okay, so he didn't see anything. I made a big fire that lasted for 3 hours, made a lot of noise, did a couple Bigfoot calls, a whoop type, a wood knock, no return. A local plane saw my smoke and buzzed right over my campsite. After a great meal, some singing. Okay, this sounds fake. I went to bed on the top bunk. I always sleep with one eye and ear open. This is totally fake. At 2:30 a.m., I heard a solid wood knock, followed immediately by a tree getting pushed over. It did not crash. It sounded dead and not tall. Wood knock, then a thud. After that, nothing. Half an hour later, I was back asleep. Also noticed, he didn't notice anything else. I've hiked over 1,000 miles of the AT. This was my best night camping of the entire. Okay, he's just talking about the Appalachian Trail. Okay, well, he didn't see anything.
But he heard a wood knock.
Maybe.
Tree crash.
Come on, bro. Jeez. What the follow? Yeah. Okay, so someone actually followed up with him.
Okay.
He went to sleep in the shelter loft. Around 2:30 a.m., he was awoken to a loud, powerful tree knock, followed by what he described as a large thump. He listened attentively for a bit longer, then fell asleep. He did not look for any tree damage in the morning. The witness states he follows documentary shows and non-scripted television regarding Sasquatch. He further stated he had possible encounters in Woodville, New York, and Hanover, New Hampshire. He often hikes the AT and will keep reporting any possible activity. Okay, I don't want to necessarily doubt anybody, but
no,
that investigator did that guy much more justice than I feel like.
More would have than you did.
Like, yeah, seriously. First of all, you were looking for trouble.
You were calling for it.
Yeah. I just started a fire. I mean, whatever. To each his own. I'm sure there's plenty of listeners that are trying to get some attention. I personally I don't know what I would do.
If you heard a wood knock?
I don't know. I mean, if I actually saw something, I feel like I would probably not know what to do.
Yeah.
I have no woodland skills whatsoever.
None. I think I would just poop my pants and pass out.
Yeah. I could fall up on the top bunk and pretend to go to sleep. So
I put the covers over my head. It's not there.
Exactly. Does this guy have a name? And he didn't put his name. All right. Well, good for you, buddy. I think you just wanted to talk about how you like to hike the AT. God bless.
Signed anonymous.
Bless your heart.
Signed anonymous. I sleep with one eye open.
Metallica song.
What is that noise? Sorry.
Oh, commercial.
An ad came up. I'm like,
well,
it was there.
It's a perfect transition into the next. We'll stop talking about Mr. Berkshire County here.
So there's so many cryptids though in Appalachia.
Mothman kept coming up, but I was like, you know what? We're not
talking about Mothman.
Yeah. We haven't done an episode about Mothman. No, we haven't.
Let's do that. That's fun.
I know, we should.
Let's do it one day.
We should. We'll add that to the list.
All right. Well, the Bell Witch. Everybody knows about the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
He's from there.
That's another one I feel like we could do.
That could be a whole episode. Yeah.
There's enough to cover. This is just so broad. And what I think our heart was, we want to get some people's stories because, I've told you, I've talked to so many people that have grandmothers that are hanging out, up in the mountains, having weird experiences, so many people that have come on.
Speaking of grandmothers, let's talk about granny magic.
Granny magic. My voice cracked.
I think granny magic is
all right.
My favorite thing in the world.
So explain.
Okay. So old women live in the Appalachian Mountains and they have their own practices of healing and herbology. passed down to them from their grandmothers and their grandmothers and their grandmothers. So the women are all basically like folk healers.
Yeah.
And they are the pivotal parts of society that keep it running in the mountains since people started settling there. And they were herbalists. They were midwives. They knew how to set bones if you broke a bone. They knew how to cure a fever. They knew how to get rid of hives and diaper rash and colic and any little ailment that you had. And going back to once you're in the mountains and you live there, it's very hard to get out of the mountains. So there's no doctor, there's no hospital. You're going to go to the local granny witch. Yeah. She knows all of the magic to cure your ails.
And probably everything about the woods. Like,
yeah,
all the stuff that you would use.
Yes,
right there for.
That's another good point. So these women came from different countries and settled in the mountains during the 18th century, and they met up with the Cherokee Indians. The Cherokee women, who were also healers and herbalists, taught the immigrant women all about the plants and the flora and the fauna and what they could use for all of their herbal treatments or whatever. So it's different cultures again coming together and forming their own brand of healing.
Community, really.
Yeah, you're not going to see this anywhere else in the world. It only exists in these mountains, where the Cherokees came together with immigrants from Scotland and Ireland and Germany and all of these different places. And anyway, so it's passed down orally. Nothing is written.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was trying to pull up some of just like looking through a lot of it with the Cherokee is obviously just oral history.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to know a granny witch to learn about the granny magic. That you have to get it passed down from your granny. And that's why they call it that. So in recent years, it's become popular again for people to start asking the grannies what the actual remedies are so that they can write it down and get it down before the culture disappears.
Yeah.
There's, I'm going to give you some names.
Do you have a remedy?
I'm going to give you some names of some modern people who are trying to get the information and keep it going.
That is so important because especially if you don't have a written article, recipe book.
It's H. Byron Ballard and Sarah Amis. It looks like Amis. They're university instructors that are working hard to educate people about their traditional mountain customs and ensure that the legacy of their Appalachian ancestors doesn't get forgotten. So they've written papers and published university. It's really nice. And there's sources. There's Ballard H. Byron. It's called Staubs and Ditchwater, a friendly and useful introduction to hill folks' hoodoo. That was from 2017.
Oh, nice.
There's a bunch of there's like a lot of sources on here.
I'm sure you could probably just go ahead and like Google something.
Just type in like granny magic. And you'll probably stumble upon these. But it's pretty cool. So, and like the immigrants that settled in the mountains were escaping religious persecution. They were Protestants. They were very traditionally staunchly Christian people. So a lot of they didn't know they like set bones and heal fevers.
Yeah.
Also cast spells and did things like that were considered witchcraft, but they did it by reciting Bible verses.
We talked about this. Yeah. We talked about it. Actually, I had a really good conversation with our friend Tim Constantine from the 6th Sensory podcast because we were talking, we're supposed to do this at some point. Tim, we got to get together. But we were talking about long lost friend. Like he was surprised that I knew about that. And I was like, well, I use Timothy Renner's stuff all the time in our research. And he had a really good point because he was like, you've got to realize these people are in the elements. Like there are cougars, there are like wild animals, there is torrential downpour, there's winter. Like they're using what they have around them. And they have limited knowledge of like their exactly what you said, like their outside world. So he and I were kind of thinking about like looking at that kind of at like, a sort of like a 10,000 foot view of, yeah, of course you're going to use this passed down tradition.
Yeah.
And they did incorporate a lot of like Bible verses and stuff like that. Cause he was like, I think there's something more to this book. He actually had a copy of it.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And I was like, man, I found like a PDF download.
That's great.
Like, yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get that together. But it's interesting. And his family's from like Appalachia too. So
Yeah.
that made me think like, I mean, if you look, we're in my kitchen. If you came in here and you didn't see scripture on the wall,
Scripture everywhere.
you would be like, oh, what's this witch doing? Like, I got stuff in jars over my stove. Like,
Kind of goes hand in hand. And I think I might piss people off by saying this, but witchcraft and religion go hand in hand.
I think the term witchcraft also confuses a lot of people because witchcraft just essentially means manipulation. So what you're doing with herbs and stuff, you're not manipulating anything. You're actually using it as a poultice. It's very practical. It's healing.
Yeah.
God made holy basil for me to chew up and put on my kid's foot and when he steps on a bee. And that works like magic.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the correlation because you had to go to somebody with the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They might not be the person that's in the pew because Tim and I got into this a little bit.
There weren't any pews. They lived in the forest.
But also, sometimes in those days, they wanted everyone to go to the church and the pastor for whatever his political reasons were and not hang back with the granny witch. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But that knowledge, it's not esoteric, hidden knowledge. It's stuff that we need to know. I need to know how to set a bone.
Yeah, like that. Yes.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like if you were just like, all right, well, what do I do now? Nobody knows.
They even called them granny witches because what they did appeared as witchcraft.
And magical.
It appeared magical because they were able to cure a fever and get rid of hives. So it appeared to be magical.
Yeah.
But really what they were doing was practical herbology. And if they understood science, which they didn't, they would understand that it's not actually magic, it's science.
Or just the way that, whatever, for whatever reason, don't know scientifically, but I know that if I chew that stuff up, make a poultice, it's going to take the pain away instantly.
Yeah.
Like that's really something.
Yeah.
Science.
Herbology. All the ologies. All of the ologies.
We are not doctors. We are not pastors. I am not a pastor.
I just thought it was so cool, though, to learn that something that you call magic or witch, granny witch, granny magic, all of those women were religious women. And they were using prayer and Bible verses and scripture to make these charms and these poultices and things like that.
Yep.
It wasn't, I don't know. It's different. People don't understand.
I literally had an experience, not kidding, literally the other day in the office at church. I did something to my leg. I don't know what I did. I think I pulled like the back muscle, like my hamstring or something. And I had a really hard time with my knee for like 2 weeks. Well, last time I hung out with you, right?
Yeah.
So I went into the office to my office mom, who I love. And I was like, oh, my knee really hurts. Like, do you have any, we always joke because I'm always like, oh, here, I use like the Amish balm.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in this stuff, but it takes like the muscle, it's a pain away. It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, do you have any salves or balms hidden away? Because she has like everything. Because she's like, yeah, actually, I do. And so she put this like, it's like some sort of icy hot, whatever. There, she was like rubbing it on my leg. And I know the character and the love of God in this woman. So I know what she was doing while she was rubbing my leg. I'm not kidding you. 2 hours later, I like went to Dan and I was like, holy crap, my leg doesn't hurt anymore. And I texted her and I was like, you were praying over my leg as you put that salve on. There you go.
Yeah.
Granny witch.
She's a granny witch.
She doesn't even know. She's from Dundalk. She's this, whatever.
It's talking about wounds. Hello. Irish and Scottish immigrants are in Dundalk too. Their ancestors all came from the mountains.
It is so cool if I had like some sort of, I don't know, Nana up there in the mountains somewhere. I don't think we're from there, but
we are. So my dad's family, and you know this about me, but my dad's family is from Blacksburg, Virginia, and they still live there. And I can go visit them whenever I want. There's graveyards, and all of our ancestors are in the graveyards. I had a lot of ancestors fight in the Confederate side of the Civil War. They were all decorated, generals and admirals stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Family's really cool. They were there forever, you know. And the first like generation to leave that area was my grandfather and grandmother.
Really?
They came to Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
Work. Yeah.
So there's probably so many stories like that out there.
Yeah.
See, this has like been a continual, like, kind of like evolving conversation around the pod where it's just like everything that we believe is not so black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so if you guys are listening to Fellowship of the Fringe, that's kind of what we're talking about there, where it's like things are a little bit more, not so much shadowy, but like there's weird supernatural stuff in the Bible all the time that nobody wants to talk about.
Of course.
And let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
It's not black and white.
That's nice, but Bible interest.
But that's what makes people suck. And that's what makes the character of God misrepresented. So we've been like kind of on this little, I don't know.
Let's talk about things that make you uncomfortable.
It's going places that I'm really on the table. Put it on the table in the kitchen. All right. I don't have anything else. Good place to end it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, 45 minutes already.
Wow, it went fast. It did. Oh, it was a topic that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you guys enjoyed it too.
I think we need more broad I like the broad topics because then we can kind of like cover different bases.
Yeah.
And
it's fun.
Everyone talks about Mothman. How much more can I talk about Mothman?
It's been talked to death. If you don't know about Mothman yet,
no.
Yeah. Maybe you're new. Maybe you're young. Right. Yeah. Maybe you're not from this area. I don't know.
If I'm bored, you're bored.
Yeah.
Like, guys.
Not regurgitate the same story over and over.
No. All right. We get it. No one sees Mothman. I don't know. If you've seen Mothman, then let's send me a text message because I want to hear about that. I don't think people are seeing Mothman.
Yeah. I mean, we can do another episode about cryptids in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, like more specific.
There's like Flatwoods Monster.
You see that?
Mothman. There's a lot more. There's
Flatwoods Monster that looks weird. There's a nun.
It's an alien. It's a freaking alien nun. Alien. There's a whole story about these young boys in the 50s or something that saw the spaceship and saw him come out of it. It's really a cool story.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that next. I don't know. Trying to get Crystal to come back like at least once a month so I can have some sort of brevity.
Oh, and then there's another one. And it's like a big cat. It's like the cattywampus or something.
The wampus cat.
That's it. Cattywampus. I'm about to bring him up, but I forgot.
Cattywampus. All right. No, whatever. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right. Yay. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This was great. Please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave reviews. That's really the best way to support this podcast. I don't really think I'm ever going to try to make any sort of money off of this. This is just way too much fun.
It's just fun.
It's just fun. And I enjoy the conversations. It's definitely helping me on my journey. So I hope that it helps you and Crystal, obviously, you on your journey.
Thank you.
So yeah, until next time, remember the truth is out there. God is with you, and everyone always ends up in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Bye.
You have been listening to Sasquatch and Sourdough. I'm Christina, and thank you so much for tuning in. Sasquatch and Sourdough is so much more than just a podcast. We're a community of kindred spirits, united by our curiosity and fascination with the extraordinary. And we want to bring you into the conversation. So whether you've had a brush with the unexplainable, seen something that you can't quite wrap your head around, this is your space. We invite you to join us as we break bread and break down the barriers between the known and the unknown. If you want to share your story, you can email us at sasquatchandsourdough@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram. Until next time, remember, the truth is out there, God is with you, and everyone always ends up in the kitchen.